Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Hello and welcome to the first round of the Highlander EU Newbie Cup for Season 2, sponsored by STN Trading. I am Georgebaii. With me on production is Wiethoofd, and joining me on the imaginary caster's desk is Scrambled. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing fine. I'm really excited to see how these new teams cope in the Highlander format and how their playstyle contrasts the higher level teams in which it started.
It's all go on these stations. Both teams are ready up. Speaking of the teams, we got Fromp, who are currently on red, and then we also got Dudsquad, which are currently the offensive team on blue. This is Payload Upward. This is the first round. So, Payload Upward is considered really the quintessential Highlander map. It's been played in a lot of seasons, so it'd be interesting to see how all these new players cope to this new strategy, I guess, for Highlander.
It seems to be quite an interesting setup that Red are going with at the moment. They've got a sentry gun in quite a strange position. It's not quite what's played in the higher levels, but it could fulfill a lot of the same functions. It denies the stairs on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side from Red's perspective. They seem to be holding a lot more forward than is usual. It's quite interesting. Although they seem to be backing off and playing a lot more standard now. Maybe it was just their setup.
Yeah, interesting stuff coming up from Fromp, I think. But we're going to be starting up at the gates right now. I'm going to be watching the pile of Torty on the Fromp's side. He's going to be sniping up onto this cart, trying to look for any potential victims. You got Cream, it was casually creeping out on the side of the staircase. He's actually going to take down Torty, so that's a sniper down immediately, which is a really essential pick actually on this first point, as the rest of the Dudsquad are going to be moving up. Got to pick up the flank there from Evercore as well, and a lot of the frags actually going the way of Dudsquad. I think this forward hold not quite working out for Fromp at the moment.
Yeah, the sniper pick is really essential for breaking this upward first hold, and getting it early means that you can be very aggressive. Though the blue team has taken a while to get into position to make this push happen. So Toppy is now alive and he's looking at the medic of blue team. So we'll see whether he manages to get this pick.
Yeah, also in the back lines, you've got Senor Yeti, who's really far back actually in the window area, probably sticking potential respawns to try and pick off and deny the time on them. But we've got an Uber now coming out on the side of Dudsquad, the sentry immediately going down into that Uber. A lot of good stuff coming out from Rocky, the demo man, trying to clear everything up. But not a lot of progress on cart right now. That could prove crucial for this next fight. Obviously the cart, very important for this first hold.
Yeah, and Totty's now alive again on Playground, and there's no Uber from either teams, and we'll see whether Totty's going to have the space to deny blue, though he got made very weak, I think, by some spam from the soldier and maybe the spy. Like I said, this sniper is very key to holding upward first point, and he's alive at the moment, so it's going to be very hard for blue to break this hold when there's a sniper alive, watching, the blue team is there making space on the right hand side.
Yeah, currently looking at Red X0001 on the backlines on Spy, just really probably feeding information to this team actually on this backlines coat here. No one's noticed them yet, and a lot of frags actually going to the side of the front. They've managed to hold this really well after that initial setup, and actually it's going to be a medic down on the side of Dudsquad, so no heals there for a moment. And the medics is actually going to get a pick on the heavy as well, so that's a combo down. It might have a pause.
Yeah, it was an interesting push we saw. There wasn't many frags that came out during that push. It was very much just an exchange and running away. A lot of the blue team didn't come in during the Uber. There wasn't any space taken by the flank players when there was the blue Uber that happened. And as a result, Red were just free to flash anyone that wanted to keep them alive and force blue back. And that meant that post-Uber, both teams had everyone alive, and the sniper was alive on red team, like I said, and it meant that they lost their medic, and they're struggling at the moment to get any space from red team. Everyone on red's alive, and at the moment there's the medic and the demo man down. Those are very important classes to push with.
So yeah, certainly the next few pushes are going to be important for this first fight. I mean, obviously you need to get the first point to try and progress to the second, but if you don't even manage to get that, then it gives the other team a huge chance to easily take this map, actually. All they have to do is cap the first point, so They're going to be waiting for their respawn waves, so she'll be looking to try and reconsolidate and try and actually clear off this first point to get that cap, which is essential. Looking at Red's defense right now, we've got a sentry set up actually on the point itself, which is quite unorthodox, but I'm guessing it's down to probably the lack of knowledge of experience on these players right now. But could prove useful. It's quite an unexpected place to put it. You've got the demo man at the stair hold, which is quite normal actually for the demo man. He's going to be basically spamming stickies across the point, trying to get as much damage as possible. Cart's sort of halfway between the point itself in this trench area. Obviously, it can prove to be a pretty strong hold with the amount of high ground that's facing trench if you get a lot of spam into it.
I mean, the thing about the sentry spot that's quite interesting is that the only thing that really is a downside about the sentry spot where it is it doesn't deny any of the playground area. And there hasn't really been any attempt to take control of the playground from Red Team. So they've not really had the sort of downsides that would usually come with that sentry spot. Everything else from Red has been quite standard in how they've been holding. And the unpause just comes out there, and I guess there's probably a good 2-3 pushes left from Blue Team. They can still they still got quite a few opportunities to break this hold. Torty's very aggressive at the moment on the left hand side, and he's looking right at the blue medic. And we'll have to see if he manages to get it. And you see the demo man on blue goes down to Torty, which means that it's going to be very hard for them to make any space. It's very hard to push without your demo man alive.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get back to you for a second. My game just crashed suddenly, so you're going to have to be my eyes for me, man. What's happening out there?
Well, the sniper on blue has been able to take roof. The demo man's back up, and it looks like they're going to be taking a push in very soon. There's been a lot of space being made by the sniper picking off the heavy, and the red team seems to be playing quite passive right now. The demo is getting forward right now. He's spamming right into the underneath playground, and he managed to kill the demo man of red. Torty seems to have been forced back as well. I think he got piped by the blue demo man. and the medic went down during that push as well. It was a very successful push there from the demo man. I say that it seems to only really be the demo man that's committing to this push. The heavy from red comes back in, and he manages to kill the demo man, and the cart is sitting right on the capture point. The engineer manages to come in and capture it. It was very... Yeah, that was a very good job from the engineer there.
I can see it again. My eyes are back. So yeah, as you said, Blue managing to finally get that first point after quite a considerable amount of time. Actually, it's going to be 3 minutes 30. But now it's going to probably get the motivation enough to try and start moving to the second point. They're going to be on this set up at this point right now. A lot of players actually, with a forward hold actually on the side of red, they've got the medic really deep in here, and the soldier trying to get as much damage as possible. The Liberty launcher, another unorthodox weapon choice, but that's going to probably be effective for this general spam. Well, car crashes happen outside Scrambled's house. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to be walking into this push.
Yeah, it was quite a weird decision made by the sniper and the heavy on red team to hold in tunnel. And the heavy went down, but the sniper was able to get out alive there, and the sniper again on the second point and upward is very important. The soldier gets picked off by the blue spy, and they're chasing the spy all the way back and giving up all of its space for blue to take if they want. And you can see the scout is able to walk all the way in down this sort of into the cliffside. There's a lot of space for blue to take here if they were willing to take it. And you can see right now the demo man coming in and with a soldier and a heavy, and they're able to take this hill area. And the only thing really denying the card now, the heavy and the sniper in tunnel, which is a bit of a weird choice. Usually it's the soldier that stays in tunnel with the scout. If the combo from blue are able to rotate to deal with these players, I say that the flank is able to play up the heavy and the sniper. The spy's going for a play on the heavy, and he manages to pick up the heavy. It was an interesting step. Yeah. But it seems that a lot of the frags have gone in the favour of blue team, and they're able to get a lot of this cart time that they need. This was a much cleaner push, and the Uber comes out from blue onto down and right into their spawn. The counter Uber comes out on the soldier as well.
Yeah, teams have even Ubers there for quite a while actually. I was surprised the other team didn't really take advantage of that. But so the general mayhem on this second point right now, got a lot of spam going out. Medic really weak for the side of the blue team, and he's going to be going down. As the rest of the players try to compensate, Heavy's going to be falling back right now. And this looks to be a reset as Red look to hold their ground.
Red are doing a really good job of taking Ubers late and not dropping players before the Uber. They make blue walk into them, make them use, and then red just keep the players alive and Uber back into them, get a much better Uber, and then you can see them now coming back forward with a player advantage and taking all of this space from the blue team, and they're able to hold on to that point because of a really good Uber charge. Yeah, you can see they're just taking all of the space, denying the blue team any position that they're trying to take.
Yeah, we actually got Blood Banner going out as well, so really crits for the red side right now as they look to try and walk forward with this. We've got Never Dies trying to get initial spam onto the Liberty launcher as the rest of the team kind of compensate. We've got Pyro really deep on the right side here actually, for the side of the Dudsquad. He's going to go down. Off
the sniper on red, which is a very important pick. You can see the blue sniper is able to get all of the space on the left side, gets picked off by the spy. That was a very good job from the red spy. He manages to also pick up the heavy before going down himself. Yeah, without a sniper and without a demo man in a good position to push it, I don't think we're going to be seeing a push from blue anytime soon. They need to be resetting, getting all the players into position. So the Uber, it looks like they have the Uber. It looks like they're wanting to use they're poking a little bit with the demo man. They got the sniper on the hill as well now.
And the Uber comes up trying to get some kills here, essentially. He's got 2 kills so far actually on this cliff area. He's probably looking for more. He's going to be scoped down onto this cliffside area, looking for anyone that's trying to come in. Well, meanwhile, a lot of blue players actually on the right side. He probably should be looking to rotate his position. Red X 0001 is going to get pick onto Puny, so that's a heavy down for the side of Dudsquad. As they look to try and keep this top hold right now, but there's no progress being made at the cart right now. We're starting to roll back and we lose the crucial progress for the second point, and with only 45 seconds left, it might be no chance for a cap here. We've got a reflex pipe going out as well from the red pyro of Mr. 12 getting the kill there. But yeah, general chaos. I think we're going to be coming down to this last push of this round, I guess.
It was a very interesting Uber from blue team. I'm not sure if the medic felt that he needed to use early because there was a sniper looking at him or something. I never saw that, but it was a very, very early Uber from blue team, and they didn't really find anything with it, which meant that red were just able to Uber back into them and kill all the players that were trying to push there. It was very lucky that blue managed to get the medic pick, because it means that they're not facing a 60% Uber or something like that. So if they're able to get people on the cart right now, they might be able to have a hope of getting this cap.
Yeah, a lot of people are jumping onto this cart right now. We've got times for the time has been set. Everyone's trying to scramble to try and get some points of it. We've got a pyro in the backlines, Mr. 12 just cleaning up a lot of stuff there, getting a huge amount of damage, and the rest of the team follows suit, and they're going to be holding at the second point. Dudsquad only getting the first cap there.
Yeah, it was a very good job from the red team there. They did a very good job of making sure that they didn't drop people before the Uber came out, baiting blue into them, making blue use, and then getting a much better Uber charge and coming forward and taking all the space with their Uber players and the player advantage. It was a very good job defending.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the Dudsquad only managed to cap a single point, I believe, of that last round. So, of this, they only have to cap 1 point essentially in 3 minutes 30. If they do that, they basically won this first round. I don't know if we're going to a best of 3 perhaps on this map, but yeah. What do you think the mentality is going to be for the offense team on this point? The fact that they only have to cap 1 point in this quite a good amount of time actually to get a few pushes in.
Well, they'll be going into it quite confident, but one of the problems with that is that they might be thinking, oh, this will be an easy point to push, where it's quite easy to get that amount of time out of first point if you manage to keep your key players alive. If they struggle to get the players into the positions that they need to take first point, I could see it falling apart. They might have thought this was easy, and then it might fall apart, and you might see this team hold on to this point. Though it looks like the players on Fromp are coming out very quickly. The medics looking to come out of spawn straight away. They're getting all the players quite far forward left.
Yeah, Green is actually doing some decent work on the sniper so far. He's actually getting 2 picks. Might be a little bit of technical issues, I can't tell.
It was a very
back
short
though,
pause,
and Greenwing actually got another kill onto the sniper there, so that's another crucial pick actually. He's doing some good work on this top area, and generally the rest of Blue are going to be walking forward. So we've got Mr. 12 just walking in left side, no fear on his side, as he looks to get the heals from his medic, probably looking to take an Uber in. There's already a good amount of picks coming out. We got a red spy trying to get onto the sniper, which is the pick they needed.
Yeah, the Uber's being used on the sentry gun, and the NG looks to be backing out. The demo man is holding underneath the playground. There doesn't seem to be a red medic anywhere to save this demo man, and he goes down.
Yeah, and I think this comfortably looks like Fromp's game. They got a huge amount of time. It's not really red players really to contest. They got a Pyro coming in last moment. It's not going to be enough. And it's going to be Fromp taking this in very convincing fashion.
Yeah, we'll see whether like it may be the case that they just don't know how to hold first very well. They might be able to hold on to some of the like easier points to defend. Like last can be quite a promising hold, and maybe when we see the team switched around. That being said, they doesn't seem to have there don't seem to have been a team swap, so maybe we'll see the same again.
There's also 8 gamers on the red team at the moment, so I don't know if they're trying to wait for someone.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see whether Blue are able to like break this, or maybe they've talked over or had like the chance to talk over what they did right and take the supercharge in on the demo man like straight away, get this point much faster than they did last time, and maybe be able to get a good push this time around.
3,
Yeah, as we saw last time, I only managed to get 1 point, but they're going to be coming into this next round with confidence as the rest of the team's trying to come out right now. We've got the scout on cart, as you'd expect. He's actually going to be walking up the left side trying to cover up the damage, but eventually he's going to get ×2 on there. Torty with the first pick onto Illusaurus Rex, just getting the soldier pick there, but Senor Yeti's going to counteract that and actually get the pick onto the sniper. So sniper down from the side of the red team. They still have
very important pick from the
what's happening right now.
It's a very important pick to get the sniper pick on first. It allows the medic to come out of spawn and take an early Uber charge in. It means that they're not going to drop in people from the flank who aren't in the Uber. Though the red team seems to be playing very far forward. The demo man goes down very early. The Uber comes out on blue, and you can see this sort of the standard sort of front counter Uber here, where they just bait the blue Uber, then come back in with their much stronger Uber and force blue right back. And you can see this almost entirely into spawn. Yeah, you can see that red are also like just all over this sort of area where they've been holding. They're waiting for the sniper to come up, and when they get this sniper into position, blue are going to have to reset this entire hold all over again, like this entire push. But it seems at the moment that they're wanting to continue pushing here. They're getting all the players to come forward. They're taking the cliff side of things. The spy is going for a play right now into the heavy. He manages to pick off the heavy, and he's on the medic. The medic's very weak. He manages to get back into spawn on just a sliver of health. It looks like Demoman staying in. He's still spamming away at playground, trying to see if he can get any sort of damage out onto key players. The soldier jumps to playground right onto the sniper. And manages to kill the red soldier.
Very got down to like 12 HP, so they had to come out there, obviously would have dropped it. So they're going to be trying to take this out. It's going to fade right now. The red's actually down on the side of Dudsquad, so they're going to be waiting for any heals on that side. So the rest of the damage tries to come in right now. We've got Rocky on this front point, taking a lot of the front actually, trying to get a lot of this cap time. He seems to be a one-man show at the moment. He's actually done pretty well for these 2 games I've seen. As the rest of the team trying to compensate, but Red's getting a nice pick onto Puny there, so that's a heavy down for the side of Dudsquad. As the rest of the team try to push forwards and just get this general cap that's like so close right now. We've got Toast on the front lines with the heavy, just trying to deny any sort of space made by the blue players. He's going to see Rocky on the left side, eventually clocks him, but it's going to get piped down. And just general chaos at this point, trying to finish this off.
Yeah, that was a very good pick from the spy there, managing to shut down a lot of the momentum that Dudsquad had. The heavy was very far forward, making a lot of space for his team, and the spy was able to come in and clear that up for them. So it looks like Dudsquad were able to take this point. It took them quite a long time to be able to get into position, and it was a better time than last time. So, it was 2:42, it's still a very long time to push first. And the medic just died to the spy butter knife there as well. This is going to shut down a lot of momentum that they had pushing into second. A huge pick there from the blue sniper as well onto the red scout.
Yeah, another sniper pick as well coming on to Yeti. He's been very good actually during this game, shutting down generally the red sniper. And he's going to be looking to try and get in the back lines a bit further, potentially look for more victims. Like, this medic is on 100% overcharge right now. He's going to be holding up top with the engineer, and it's quite... We saw this Volatile last time, and it actually seemed to work out initially for them until they were forced back onto this, like, the point itself. But they're probably going to leave it to use the super in right now. We've got Pelican holding this right now. Yeti's going to get mowed down by the Pyro with the flames. As actually... Blue's making good progress onto this cap right now. They're going to be halfway through tunnel. It's actually quite invested with their combo in here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, a tunnel push with a combo can work, and denying with a combo can work as well. The Demo Man has a lot of strength in this tunnel, but it's quite interesting. Yeah, I guess we're seeing like Red coming out of the tunnel now. They denied what they wanted to deny, and they're coming back and they're giving Blue the space so that they don't drop any players. The blue Demo Man is very far forward on its own, and I think the red Pyros realised that, went right onto the Demo Man, picked them off, and it's going to shut down any momentum that blue had. It was a very good play by the red Pyro.
So yeah, still getting a lot of cap time onto this. They're going to be exiting tunnel soon right now. As Holos has just noticed, he's going to be looking to throw a sandwich out. The Ubers are actually going to come out on the side of Fromp as they look to try and defend this tunnel push. A lot of frags actually going their way as well. I think Tep's the Demo Man's on the 6k right now, so good stuff from him. So this is Jeremy Holders. Toast is trying to get a clean up onto the engineer as well, but a lot of spam coming in might be difficult. And actually, Medic went down there. I don't know how that happened, but that's the rest of the team tries to push forwards.
That'll give Blue some sort of hope pushing into this point. They've been really struggling to get any sort of Uber advantage, and now that they have like that opportunity, they might be able to make something happen with it. They've got a lot of space on upper with the sniper. If they manage to get their team to come to this top area with their medic and their sniper, they'll have so much space. It's just a case of managing to get everyone grouped up together. And you can see now the Demo Man taking space, managing to pick off the red Demo Man. That's another big pick. We'll see them like walking forward here and spamming out the sentry gun.
Yeah, they see Madanaka's being really good to bunching up for Tep because he managed to get about 4 pipe kills in that tunnel earlier. They were like all bunched up onto cart, but eventually they're going to get the pick onto him when he overextended, and it's the rest of them try to get some sort of purchase out. The cart's still going backwards. They haven't quite broken this hole. And we saw last time, like when we were coming to the dying seconds, that it had like a huge investment onto cart. Perhaps they should look for a similar thing like that. Just build the Uber, get your players onto cart, and just take the general space onto this second point.
Yeah, you can see that they're doing a much better job of grouping up at the moment and taking their space in upper. The heavy just goes down. He was the only player that was really pocketing the medic at that point. And now the sniper is going to be quite alone at the moment. The spy going for him, so he gets picked off by the scout. That was a very good job from the scout, managed to catch out the spy, because at the moment they've only really got their sniper up and to sort of deny any sort of jumpers.
So yeah, Ubers on both teams right now. Actually, Dudsquad are going to pop theirs off first. We got the medic of Scrin's going to be popping it off as they managed to hold this entirely, so they're going to have a huge Uber add into this next fight. This should really benefit them through this tunnel area.
It was a forced Uber to try and save the blue Demo Man, but the blue Demo Man was dropped, and as a result, no picks came out from the blue team. And yeah, so it's going to be the red Demo Man's really forward. They managed to pick up both the Demo Man and the heavy of blue. But that because there was no Uber coming out on the blue Demo Man, there wasn't really any picks. They didn't really get any value out of Uber, so Red are just able to hold on to their own Uber charge and use it whenever they feel threatened or they can pick off the blue medic.
So yeah, it's looking to be a similar story to what happened in the first round, and I had to point out their scout hasn't really been putting as much time into cart as I would have seen. Normally you see scout really pestering that cart, just keeping the time going and like keeping it as far as possible, but he's been generally trying to go for the mad milk and like trying to go for picks and that, which is quite unorthodox really, and I think it's costing him in a slight bit because they're not getting as much cart time as possible. I mean, even as I'm speaking, the cart's going backwards right now as Torty gets a nice headshot onto Puny, so heavy down from the side of Dudsquad. And now we're going to come in and this is last minute. It's going to be another crucial push, it seems.
They're doing a good job of gripping up on the hill now. They've got all the players around their sniper. They seem to be pressuring out Red as much as they can. They've got the Demo Man spamming right into the Red combo. Although the Pyro managed to come forward with a heavy and get a pick there onto the blue medic. And the medic going down at this stage of the game is really crucial. It'll be very hard for them to get any sort of space with that heal disadvantage.
At least he managed to take the spy down with him, but coming down to 30 seconds again, It's going to be crucial times right now for Dudsquad. They've got to look to try and get this second point finally. They've been having a lot of failed pushes, or like generally not grouping up as much as they should have been like onto this front point. Now they're going to try and invest their time into it. Got Toast on an 8k right now, who's doing really good job denying the area for his team. M-Man Course finally getting onto the car right now, taking time for it. It's just going to be duking the shots from Torty. But with 10 seconds left and all this overtime to play with, it doesn't look like a possibility for Dudsquad to win this.
Yeah, it was a very good job from Toast there on Heavy. It was, you could, like, the blue team weren't grouping up, they weren't, they were giving Toast a sort of opportunity to just clear up players, and that cost them a lot. You see, you're saying that Toast was an 8k, that was spread out over a long time. It stopped them from having all their players alive to push as a cohesive unit. It was very good from Fromp's Heavy.
I suppose the only consolation from that is that they actually managed to cap first a lot faster than the first round, so a bit of shade about 45 seconds after it actually. So generally more pressure actually to try and make this first pick count, but if they do the same thing as they did before, they should be able to seal this round up and the map itself. Yeah,
we'll see if Dudsquad have been able to learn from their mistakes holding before, and whether they'll be able to hold on for a bit longer. It's still a big challenge holding on to first for 2 minutes 40, but it's not unheard of. They might work out what they're doing wrong. They might be able to fix something and hold on. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what Blue Man decides to do to counter whatever Dudsquad come up with.
Interesting hold actually from the side of Dudsquad. I don't know if they're looking to commit to this, but they've got their medic set up on the right side. Heavy's up top as well with the Demo Man. And the gun's quite far back actually. It looks to be like in a normal position you would expect it, but without any combo support, it looks to be an easier target for Fromp to deal with. And now we're going to be starting off with this round right now. A lot of players invested in the right side, but we've got Green Root getting the first pick on the Torty, so no sniper pressure there already. As the rest of the team tries to stack up onto this cart and just trying to get the ball moving. Normally you expect your scout on this, but he's busy dealing with players on the right side. We've got a Pyro and a Spy here, and looking to Jeremy Huck moves him down. He's going to be calling that back to his teammates to try and get some more spam there.
This hold from Dudsquad doesn't put any sort of respect towards the sniper, and it's been working out for him so far because Dudsquad sniper's been able to pick off Torty twice so far, and that's been really good. But the blue Demo Man manages to come in and spam out the Heavy. They've been forced right back into the hold, pretty much that Fromp were doing, and but this time they don't have 4 players live. They just got a spawner. And they're going to be waiting for like players to come up and see if they can get into position. And by the time the Uber comes out, drop Demo Man from red, which is very, very key. The Uber comes out from blue, and the counter Uber comes out onto the Pyro. It's
like there's so many frags for the side of Fromp. It shouldn't really be too difficult to deal with after this. I think the medic just went down there. We've got like a bunch of players onto this point now trying to defend this. Not much cap time going on right now. We've got Pelican retreating for the backlines, trying to hide from the soldier of the
medic on Dudsquad just went down to the Spy as a very good pick from Spy, and that'll allow Fromp just to stay in during pushes if they manage to get their medic up.
So yeah, coming down to the last minute of this normal time to try and seal this map in 1 minute. After that, it's going to be regulation, I think, just capping the points one by one. So we're going to see Fromp looking to commit to this left side. Only 45% Uber on their side, as let's try and walk into this. We've got Never Do on the side here, trying to get some spam into this general sentry area. But Martin Rad is actually going to get a lot of spam into the combo, but he's going to be taken down. We've got a scout behind of Nedge picking up this Heavy, and I think the Spy might get him. Puny's on very low HP going down, and that's going to be the cap. And I think Fromp have sealed this map 2-0.
Yeah, it was a problem from Dudsquad of dropping their Demo Man quite a lot. They never had the Demo Man in the pushes and then the Uber exchanges. The Demo Man was very far forward a lot, and it allowed Fromp just to walk forward and kill.
So yeah, we've got to see Fromp going into the next round, and I think due to like some, I guess the technical difficulties, they're going to be progressing into the third round actually of the title. There's only actually 5 teams competing in this, so quite sad to have such small sign-up numbers for a cup like this. But hey, I think it's something. So they're going to be happy moving onwards. But Dudsquad are going to be going out with their first experience. Quite a very sharp experience for them, to be honest. Not only getting first point, not managing to cap second both times. They're probably looking to move forwards if they're going to stay as a team.
Yeah, like as long as they're able to look at their like their mistakes that they made and learn from like what they did, I'm sure they can stay together and have success. That doesn't. Oh, the individual players look very good.
Yeah, I've been trying to look for some logs for this game. It's proving more difficult than I imagined, so we're probably going to have to leave that out. But yeah, it's going to be Fromp going into the third game, and probably I guess take it to a break until we find another game to cover. Until then. But yeah, this is the newbie cup for Highlander. This is the EU for season 2, sponsored by STN Training. Thanks for them for giving them some juicy prizes, I guess, to help this up. Be sure to stick around for the next round, and we'll see you then.